The Buccaneers worked out a veteran cornerback recently. Now, what does this tell us? What could this mean about potentially bringing in another body to the Bucs practice squad or 53-man roster? Let's talk about it. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So recently, the Buccaneers worked out Arthur Maulet. That was on Friday before the game against the Seattle Seahawks. I know I'm super late to this, but I just saw it on social media today by Greg Auman of Fox Sports. He had mentioned, well, the Bucs did bring in Arthur Maulet into the facility for a workout. He mentioned it because Maulet actually just signed with the Lions practice squad, but he could always be brought into a 53-man roster if needed. So why am I bringing this up? Why am I even talking about this? Well, before we dive into Maulet, the player, and, potentially what he could be if the Buccaneers are interested in bringing him in, it is important to note that the Bucs do have a fair amount of injuries in that cornerback room right now. Benjamin Morrison is still dealing with a hamstring. Jamel Dean is banged up. You also have Zion McCollum, who just got a procedure done on his thumb. Now, he is in question to play against the 49ers. It is a pain tolerance thing at this point, is what it is being described as. Now, you did also have the Buccaneers bring in Demarion Williams to the practice squad on September 30th. They do have Bryce Hall on the practice squad as well. But whenever you bring in a veteran like Arthur Maulet, that is a very interesting name, in my opinion, all things considered, because this is a guy who has played a lot of games at the NFL level. I mean, played 85, started in 23, has 4 career interceptions to his name, has played for a lot of different organizations. He is very much a journeyman in his NFL career. The Steelers, the Jets, the Ravens most recently, the Saints, the Colts. These are all teams that he has played for. And whenever we take a look at the PFF grades, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It looks like a veteran journeyman type of PFF grade right here, right? I mean, his best grade was in 23 with a 68.6. He is in coverage, kind of average, maybe a little bit below average. Same thing with tackling. Pretty good run defender, actually, surprisingly, which is a very interesting note to make of there. I'm curious to see where he has played in his career. So he's played primarily in the slot throughout his NFL career. Out of the 2,238 snaps he has in his NFL career, 1,399 of those snaps have been in the slot. So I am curious about this. Could they maybe have been looking at the possibility of, hey, if we need to have a guy in the slot, just like an emergency guy, we need a body, boom, go. Arthur Maulet could be that guy, and then play Jacob Parrish on the outside. That was something that may have been in consideration going forward to that Seattle Seahawks game. Now, we know the Bucs didn't do that. They did decide to go a different route. But before we dive deeper into that, though, I do want to say shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. Folks, if you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. And now, just for signing up, you get $20 for free. You cannot beat that, folks. You cannot beat that deal. So make sure you go sign up today, download the #1 sports app today, and enjoy football the way it was meant to be. That's together. Now, back to what I was talking about regarding Arthur Maulet, okay? Obviously, the Buccaneers were wondering, hey, can we play Maulet in the slot, or, have him as a backup slot option, see what we could do here. They didn't end up doing that with the Seahawks game. They went with Parrish playing a mix of nickel and outside, and also having Kindle Vildor out there as well, which was a big thing. And Kindle Vildor, look, he's a veteran at the end of the day. He's a guy that, went out there and did his best and everything along those lines. Same thing with Jacob Parrish as well. But as we talked about, the secondary struggled in that game against the Seahawks. So I am curious, could they revisit the possibility of bringing in Maulet? I don't know. He is on the Lions practice squad now. They've had multiple days to sign him at this point. So I don't know. Maybe depending on the injury stuff with Zion McCollum and Benjamin Morrison and Jamel Dean and stuff like that, if they need to bring in another guy where it's like, hey, Jacob Parrish now has to be cornerback 1 or cornerback 2 because of all these injuries that's happening. Kindle Vidor and Josh Hayes and Bryce Hall need to step up at outside cornerback. Okay, we can bring in Arthur Maulet and maybe have him do something at nickel cornerback. I don't know, but I did want to bring it up, just mention it to you guys. So what are your thoughts and opinions about this? Let me know down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.